Last month, Hecla Mining acquired a Yukon-based Alexco Resources. Phillips S. Baker Jr. is CEO of Hecla Mining. Phil, welcome back to Kitco.
Michael, good to be back on.
Hecla Mining is headlining the Silver Symposium in Spokane this week. Phil, talk about the Alexco acquisition. What is it going to add to Hecla Mining?
Well, Alexco is an asset that we've been looking at since 2007. And the reason we've been looking at it is because it will allow us to produce maybe 5 million ounces of silver, which will make us the largest silver producer in Canada, as well as being the largest producer in the United States. With that acquisition, probably 35 to 40% of all the silver produced in Canada will be produced by Hecla Mining Company. Similar number in the US.
What work do you need to do at the mine?
Well, Alexco started development, but attempted to go into production while they were doing the initial development. And they just couldn't keep the milling facilities full, so they couldn't make it work economically. So what we're doing is completing the development before we start mining, and that will take us anywhere from a year to 18 months to do. Not a huge amount of capital, just takes time.
Now, I believe there was a royalty or streaming agreement with Wheaton Precious Metals, which is off of the mine.
Yeah, so there was a streaming arrangement that was done in 2008. It was a transaction that we felt we could not advance the mine with it being in place. And so we ultimately came to an arrangement with Wheaton to remove the stream in total.
Why is production up at Lucky Friday?
Well, the Lucky Friday is an 80-year-old mine whose best days are in front of it. And the reason for that is because of the new mining method that we've developed that allows us to increase the productivity of the mine. At this point, about 50%. So we'll go from 800 tons a day to 1,200 tons a day. And as we go deeper in this mine, the grade of it improves. Basically, we increase the grade for the next 2 to 3 years, about an ounce for every 100 feet we develop. So basically every year an ounce. That's going to allow this mine to go to a 5 to 6 million ounce producer.
Going back to Alexco, what you really lead with Hecla is talking about geopolitical risks, or you're talking about silver concentration, whereas with Hecla, you're looking at strong concentration in the U.S. and also now with the acquisition in Canada.
Well, that's right. We believe where you mine is extraordinarily important. You need to have the rule of law. You need to have the confidence that you can operate these mines for generations. As I said, Lucky Friday's 80 years, Greens Creek, Casa Berardi are both 30-plus-year-old mines. All of these mines will operate 20-plus years into the future. And we think Keno Hill will be the same sort of mine.
You released a Q2 at the start of the month. You're flagging higher costs. Also, there was, I guess you see some softening metal prices.
Yeah, certainly metals prices are a little softer, not surprisingly with the Fed raising interest rates, trying to slow the economy down. That doesn't trouble us. You know, we're a 130-year-old company. We've been through these sort of cycles before. And you know, the reason they're trying to slow the economy is because of inflation. And certainly we are not able to avoid inflation, just like everyone else can't avoid it. But we do have the advantage of having our base metals production offset the inflation. So generally speaking, the prices of our byproducts are higher, and therefore we basically have seen our costs stay fairly flat on a per ounce basis.
Solar power, is that the biggest story in silver, Phil?
I think it is the driving story. You know, the other story is electric vehicles, but certainly with the silver panels that are being constructed, the demand for silver should go from about 120 million ounces, or 12% of total worldwide demand, to maybe as much as 500 million ounces. That's what the international, actually it's what the U.S. Energy Agency is predicting. So 500 million ounces by 2050. So that would be 50% of what's currently demanded. So it's a remarkable change. And at the same time, you have the electric vehicles that use about a third more silver than an internal combustion engine vehicle. With the millions of electric vehicles that are going to be built, demand for silver for that use is going to skyrocket.
There's a number of refineries that are shutting right now in Europe, zinc refineries. Do you see that having an impact upon silver prices, Phil?
Well, these are smelters that are being shut down due to the energy cost of energy there. They're not going to directly have an impact on the price of silver. What they will impact is the treatment terms that you get for the product for our silver concentrates, ultimately lead concentrates. And so you'll see costs go up as a result of that.
Overall, what's the global outlook for silver production, Phil?
Well, it's a billion ounce market. The mines produce about 800 million of that billion ounces. The other couple hundred million ounces come as recycling. And the outlook is higher prices in order to be able to build the new production capacity that the mines need to have to fulfill the needs of that the world has for silver. So it's an exciting time to be a silver miner.
Lastly, milestones at Hecla Mining over the next 12 months, Phil.
The biggest milestone is really three. First, Keno Hill, getting that into production. Second, the continuation at the Lucky Friday with this new mining method and the increased throughput that we have there. And then thirdly, our cornerstone mine, Greens Creek in Alaska, which is the largest silver mine in the U.S. It's a mine that has continually produced significant cash flow, about 1.7 billion just over the last, I'd say 15 years. That mine, we're actually increasing the throughput of it about 5 to 10%. So now every ounce that we're producing from there has a bit more margin than it's had in the past, and it's had great margins in the past. So those three things really drive Hecla in 2022 and 23.
Phil, thanks for speaking with Kitco.
Thanks for having me on, Michael.
Phillips S. Baker Jr. is CEO of Hecla Mining. He's also a headliner at the Silver Symposium in Spokane this week. My name is Michael McRae. You're watching Kitco Mining.